What's up, people? During his recent trip to Africa, the president of Iran condemned the West for promoting something that is really harmful to the continent. I'm Chibuzo Machuku. President Ebrahim Raisi of Iran accused the West of promoting the LGBTQ thing. During his visit to Uganda, one of the African countries he went to during his trip, intended to relieve his country from the impacts of the sanctions of the West and isolation. I'll roll the clips now.
The Iranian President Ebrahim Raisi visited Uganda on Wednesday as part of a diplomatic push to break the country's isolation. In his speech, Raisi criticized Western nations, accusing them of promoting homosexuality. Having the culture of establishing and forming a family, and at the same time the culture of genuineness, is another common point between Iran and Uganda. We pay great attention to the issue of establishing families, and we believe that it is a fundamental principle. The West is today trying to promote the idea of homosexuality, and of course by homosexuality they are trying to end a generation of human beings, and at the same time they are acting against the inherence and the nature of human beings. I believe that this issue and these strong attacks by the West against the establishment of families and against the culture of the nations is another area of cooperation for Iran and Uganda. Uganda has recently passed anti-gay legislation to widespread international condemnation. The African visit is the first by an Iranian leader in more than a decade.
Apparently, President Raisi wants to help Africa. He seems to be the right guy to deal with. Iran apparently is a good country to deal with. He is not only interested in relieving his country of the negative effects of the West, but also wants African countries to develop. They have seriously negative impacts due to the West. He wants to help them rise economically. The Western countries are interested in themselves developing. However, they are against African countries doing the same thing, which is why they have issues with the African countries dealing with countries outside the West. The Western countries give African countries money on condition of promoting homosexuality. Also, they exploit African countries by taking control of their resources, taking away most of the money, leaving African countries either little or nothing. They are full of greed. Iran's president signed deals with the three African countries he visited: Uganda, Kenya, and Zimbabwe. Such deals cover like useful things such as manufacturing, pharma, health, science, technology, and so on. Such things are constructive. The LGBT thing is destructive. Uganda is one of the countries that has signed an anti-LGBT bill into law. Kenya, I believe, is on the way of doing it. Zimbabwe already has an anti-LGBT law. These countries and the other African countries need to split from the West. Uganda's president, Yoweri Museveni, apparently is waiting for the USA to impose sanctions, after which he will deal with another country. He can as well do away with the USA and the rest of the West and start dealing with countries that would give like useful deals. Ghana's member of parliament, Sam George, threatened to get at the US businesses in his country. I think it would be better for the country to just do away with the USA and the rest of the West, because the West has absolutely no respect for blacks in general, which explains the LGBT thing being promoted in Africa and also the stealing of resources from the continent. Raisi, the president of Iran, is someone for the African countries to associate with. He is establishing proper ties and proper deals, really valuable deals. Share your thoughts. I'd appreciate you liking this video and subscribing to my channel. Thanks for watching.